All right, let's get right into it. Looking back on last week against EIU, obviously it's fun to win, and it's fun to do it in that fashion in terms of a shutout. I know the defensive guys were excited, myself included. Probably, I'm very process driven, and so for us as a defensive staff to just see, you obviously want to come away with a win, but to see our guys execute and stay focused and fix some of the things that we thought we left out there on the field against Ball State was probably the most encouraging thing. When you look at the game, obviously it's exciting to hold them to the amount of yardage we did, 116 total yards, 31 rushes for 52 yards, 1.7 yards per rush. All those things are really good. Probably some of the more important stats, got 9 negative plays, 3 of them being sacks, gave up 0 explosives in the game. Outside of a fourth down stop, we didn't have any takeaways, and that was certainly something that we hang our hat on here. Breaking a 19-game streak is something that we don't take lightly. I think our guys, as excited as they were to go out and execute, are very frustrated with the not getting a takeaway in that game. And so something that we will continue to harp on. They do come in bunches. And I think as much as the pride of having that is, the focus of moving forward and making sure that we try to accomplish that goal and getting takeaways every game is going to pay off for us, and it's going to win football games. In terms of tackling, we had 9 missed tackles, which is down from 23 a week ago for 31 yards after contact. That's 150 less than what it was a week ago as well, so obviously encouraged by that. And our effort was phenomenal. We had 8 total loafs on the entire defensive group unit. Things that we said we had to do to win the game: do your job. We did it at a very high level in terms of our communication, alignment, and execution. Thought we had some very sound run fits and sound tacklers. Takeaways, we did not accomplish that. Key to victory. And then we said we wanted to dominate the situational downs. They were 2 of 16 on third down, fourth down, 1 of 2. Did not get in the red zone, and when we got them in a 2-minute situation in the end, the last 3 drives, we went 3 and out. So very pleased with some of the things that our guys did on top of 10 total 3 and outs, which is the most that I think I've ever been a part of. So some good things to build off of for sure. Moving into Ohio State, it's an exciting week for our program, and I think anytime you look at a game like this, you have to recognize it as an opportunity. And that's all that we're guaranteed. That's all that we're given. But when you get an opportunity like this, you do everything that you can to make sure that you put yourself in position not to compete but to win. And that's exactly what we're going to do this week. And so when you look at Ohio State, the challenge is great. An offense that is scoring over 43 points a game. They're averaging just under 500 yards a game, 250 at 3 of those yards being on the ground. Think Justin Fields and J.K. Dobbins do a phenomenal job in the run game. I think they give them something different than what they had last year with Dwayne Haskins, who was a phenomenal quarterback, but not nearly the run threat that Justin is. I'm sure there's some give and take there from their perspective. But for us, pretty exciting as we move forward into this week to kind of test what we believe that we've built here against an offensive line, running back core, and quarterback that they have at Ohio State. Questions?
Coach, you guys, you and Coach Allen both have talked a lot, really all through August and the first couple of weeks, about how much better your run fits have been this year, especially compared to last year. Talk a little bit about when it's up against a team like Ohio State, is that the fact that you are that much better from a discipline standpoint and just a talent standpoint as to how much difference that can make?
Yeah. Well, I think it's important that you, when you look at going and executing early, this team, that they've shown that they'll go some tempo, they'll try to move, they'll try to mash you early in games, and I think a lot of it is, you can't get caught up in the pinstripes, you know what I mean? Like the Yankees of old, you know what I mean? You can't get caught up in the pinstripes. You got to lock in and focus on doing your job. And, this group, I don't have to worry about that too much because they're very young and very hungry group in terms of who we are defensively. So some of these guys, they came here to win games like this. And so they've got their their sights fixed. Can't guarantee a win. I told them that this morning. We'll talk more about that this evening, but I can guarantee them the opportunity, and that's what they came here for Indiana to do.
Two quick questions. Is this a game where you maybe don't rotate quite as much and go with more experience, go with your starters a little bit more than you have been? And what did James Head do this week to kind of earn that?
I'm sorry, say that last part.
James Head getting the defensive MVP, what did he do right?
Yeah, I mean, James, when you look at a game like we had, obviously so many guys executed at a very high level, but they didn't have a ton of plays in terms